Welcome back, peeps, to Purrfect.dev, where we give you cats the freshest dose of dev snacks.
Now with your amazing hosts, Alex Patterson and Brittany Postma. This episode is sponsored by Builder.io. Visually build on your tech stack. Hello, hello, hello.
Welcome, everyone. How's it going?
Yeah.
You guys hear us okay?
I could hear you. Yeah. Or is there like a lag or delay or something?
I think we lost your audio a little bit. You're
Oh.
just super quiet all of a sudden.
Oh no, it's good. I was just saying that your introduction is awesome.
Oh,
Thanks.
appreciate it. We've been working on it pretty hard. So today we're talking all about building connections for the underrepresented community. And we brought on Paris and Nick because they have something special going on. So if you guys wouldn't mind just kind of giving your background and profile, and then we'll kind of dive into what you have.
Okay, so hi, I'm Paris, Athena. I'm creator of the hashtag movement and community Black Tech Twitter and founder and CEO of Black Tech Pipeline.
And I am Nick. I am a developer experience engineer at Prismic currently. I am also, if you follow me on Twitter, the unpaid CTO of Black Tech Pipeline.
It's hilarious, by the way. Nice work.
It is. It's so great.
It's funny for y'all, not really for me.
Yes, that is so true. Well said. So I'm kind of curious, like, when did the hashtags start to occur, and what momentum surrounded that?
Yeah, so this was back in 2018. I had been on Twitter for a couple of months. And I didn't get on with the purpose of trying to find a community at all. I just wanted to get on and talk about my journey in tech, and that was it. And I realized that there were a few Black technologists on Twitter, and I was like, oh wow, there's quite a few of us. Because I've never worked with anyone who looked like me, and so I posted that tweet asking, what does Black Twitter in tech look like? Since Black Twitter is a thing, it's a community itself. And so that tweet ended up going viral, and it brought together the Black tech community.
That's awesome.
I wasn't in America at the time. I was in Amsterdam playing Tekken, just watching the whole thing blow up.
Just kind of explode.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. Tech Twitter is a place where people have two different views of it. Some people just think that it's just a dumpster fire of crazy comments, but then there's such good that can come out of it too. And I think Tech Twitter is a great place for the most part.
Yeah,
of course. I think it does come down to who you're following and what kind of stuff you're trying to see,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. So what are some of the goals of the Black Tech Pipeline?
Yeah, so we want to get oh, sorry, that
Sorry.
No, it's okay. So we want to bring resources, exposure, and opportunities to Black technologists, so the Black Tech Twitter community specifically. And so we're doing that through a job board and through our recruitment platform. And through our Slack community, where we kind of just continue networking and talking to one another, and learning about certain events and job openings. So yeah, we want to get more Black people in tech, and the ones who are already in here, we just want to continue networking and building relationships with one another.
That is amazing that you want to build up the community around what your goals are. So having people that you're friends with and being able to find resources for them, get them involved, and find employment opportunities for them and things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
So how does this process work? If someone finds you on Twitter, what would be their entry point to getting involved with the community and getting on the website?
A lot of people it's gotten to a point where people will join Black Tech Twitter and not know the history of it, who started it, where it came from. They're just they'll literally tweet what's Black Tech Twitter, or oh, I want to be a part of Black Tech Twitter, and eventually they somehow find their way to my account. And I have the website link there, but I talk about it all the time too. And Black Tech Pipeline has their own Twitter account. And lots of people will tag Black Tech Pipeline, they'll tag me, and I kind of introduce myself to new members, and yeah.
That's pretty incredible. How does is there a way to get into kind of the pipeline and the approval process? So I'm going to bring up the website so it kind of helps people out too. Why didn't I have this pre-shared? I don't know, but hang on one second. Here we go. So this is kind of the main website, and the coolest part when I like first discovered it was the about page. I think like it was an incredible story to me. Like, oh my gosh, and like I know this is a problem. Like it's amazing, and especially today. Like it's women's International
International Women's Day.
Women's Day. There we
Happy
go.
International Women's Day, everyone.
And so like we understand. Brittany just did a talk this morning where we're talking about women in tech. Like it's such a difficult problem to like break through, and I think like getting this out there and like trying to bring people in is so important. And the fact that like this blew up, there's a reason for that, because people are like striving for that, and they want to like pull that in. So it's an incredible story. But yeah, so do you find people like coming to the site just to like find jobs, or like is there a community building on Discord, or what's that look like right now?
Yeah, the website's definitely for job opportunities. And then Twitter itself and our Slack community, that's where people go to continue sort of like networking and still getting, resources and things they'd also get from the website. But we're actually like relaunching our Slack community, which we're really excited about. And we're launching this new recruitment platform, hopefully at the end of this month, for job seekers. So yeah, we've got a lot going on.
That sounds like a lot of work. Are you guys doing it all yourself, or you have a lot of people like
I am doing it by myself. Yes.
This is the CTO portion.
Yeah. So the thing is, and I wrote like a whole blog post on what I was gonna do. Launching Black Tech Pipeline, the website you see now was it was very like scrappy and minimal, very cheap, so we're using like Airtable to collect candidates, which there's no API integration, anything at all. And I used like Gatsby for processing Markdown. And what was the other cheap thing we did? We don't even have like real authentication. It's just magic links through GitHub.
Sure.
And so that was really good. It was super cheap. Oh, and Forestry as a CMS. Everything was basically free. Like we were able to launch a whole revenue making website for free off of that stack. And so now she's experiencing growing pains where there's lots of like manual work that has to get done still. And Airtable is great. It was great for starting, but it is not sustainable long term. And then every single client she gets asks, can we search the database ourselves? And the answer is no, for a bunch of reasons. But the main one is we don't ask for permission to share their personally identifiable information. And so obviously I had to choose. It makes sense to have like a real database, like a real backend, in which I'm using AWS Amplify for.
Cool.
And so, yeah, I'm hoping to launch within this month, near the end of the month. But the experience would be candidates sign up and add their information to the database. It's presented to employers anonymously, so they have like funny animal names or something instead of their actual names, and minimal information so that you can't figure out like who it is. There'll be a button where the employer can send a role to who they think might be a good fit based off of the anonymous information. The candidates get an email that has a link for saying, yes, let's talk, or no, not right now. And so the communication process is completely streamlined. And Paris, she still has to do some manual work. She has to follow up and say like, hey, did y'all talk or anything? So, but that's like the MVP for now. And we're hoping that it works out.
I love that concept. It's almost like The Voice, the singing show where you can't see the people, you can only hear their voice. So it's just such a great concept of like, these are my skills. It doesn't matter what I look like. It doesn't matter who I am. And just take me for what I'm worth.
Yeah.
So I love that concept.
For sure. I'm excited. Like this is something that I don't really like see. There's nothing out there so much for that. And so it feels really good to share what I've worked on and just hear like the positive feedback. It's very reassuring because I'm a little nervous.
That's definitely the power of the Jamstack too. When you were saying all of that, how you did all of that for free and just launched that site
Oh,
for
yeah.
free. And I mean, there were limitations with that first iteration, but now you can kind of pivot and change that.
Yeah.
Not easily, but a lot of work. But still,
Yep.
like you're able to change that and do things a little differently next time.
For sure. I think the way it's going to work for now, I'm going to keep the Gatsby site as is, and then the application part is basically Next.js. And so I'm going to have like a domain thing. It'll be like app.blacktechpipeline or something, you know.
That's so interesting. So you're going to use Gatsby and Next.js.
Exactly. I'm unbiased. I am very unbiased when it comes to technology. I do
Yeah,
whatever.
whatever works.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Um,
So what would be the best way to start and get involved in this community? You mentioned Twitter, but what about like getting yourself out there on the site? How would you go and sign up for that?
So the job board's public, it's open to anyone. So if you just go on the website, go to the job boards page, you can go and click on any of the employers. So every employer has a landing page that we build out for them. Oh, and you can also filter by location. But yeah, when you click on an employer's page, it goes to their landing page, obviously. And then they talk about like what are their company values? What are their diversity, equity, and inclusion practices? How have they built and maintained a safe space? What can you expect from leadership? And then we give a high-level overview of their general interview process, plus the benefits that they offer. And then we follow everything up with photos of their teams. And, if they had company outings, they can post those images. It could be, if they're remote, it could be screenshots from their Zoom meetings. But basically, we want you to see what that company looks like.
That's awesome. So is that something that the company would have to sign up and do themselves on the website?
So what they would do, we send them a questionnaire and it asks them all of these questions that they have to fill out. And we tell them like, just please be transparent. Like if you're not doing something, don't say you are. If you're working on something, you can say that. So they fill it out, submit it back to me. I build it out and then it goes live.
That is just incredible. I love all of that. And putting that out there where people are able to see like what companies are working on and who you want to work for. It's like kind of minimizing the job field where you're like, oh, this company's doing something I'm really passionate about. So I want to join them.
Right.
And I just want to add in from a technical standpoint, MDX is so powerful. A lot of job boards have like very static set of information, like, salary and benefits, whatever. With MDX, we're able to allow companies to let their brand and let their voice kind of show through because there's no like formatted template kind of thing going on. Prince, hi.
Hey.
So the one thing that I keep thinking about, like completely illegal going into interviews, but there's supposed to be unbiased, like people interviewing. Is there like training or anything to like get both employers and like people searching for jobs past that? Is that like kind of the next phase? Do you think you guys will go through to like stop looking at a person and like just read their skill set and forget the rest?
That's sort of what we're doing with the recruitment platform.
Okay.
However, like employers know that if they're working with a Black Tech Pipeline, you're working because you're with us because you want to hire Black technologists.
Mhm.
That doesn't mean that either the interviewees aren't going to face bias. That's still very possible.
Yeah.
But we're trying to mitigate that, and that's why we're putting out that transparent information so that job seekers can say, based on this information, I want to give this company a try, or based on this company, it sounds performative. I actually don't want to apply. And that's fine. That's the point of the job board. And then with the recruitment, that's how we make everyone anonymous. Like you don't know, that obviously you're coming here for Black technologists again, but you don't know what they look like, where they're coming from, just go based on their information and their skill set and then meet them and go from there.
Yeah, it's amazingly powerful. I think we're going to try to take some questions, but I got to take a quick pause for our sponsor, Builder.io. Today's podcast is brought to you by Builder.io, visually building the web. Builder.io has one of the most powerful visual editors in the industry. Unlike other tools, Builder actually produces the code for you. You don't have to completely switch out your framework either, just use one of the handy SDKs that are available. There's no limits to what you can build. Instead of limiting your marketing team, start to optimize and let them do the work. This will allow your web developers to get back to the hard work that it takes for other components, allowing your team to do A/B testing and personalization. Stop worrying about bugs in production. Just use the site as it is, then you can analyze and start converting all of your customers with Builder's built-in heat maps. Stop limiting your growth with developers' long lead times. Start building, optimizing, analyzing, and start growing faster. Don't take my word for it. You can sign up for free today and start building the web visually with Builder.io. Cool. Thank you. Welcome back, everyone. If you haven't tried out Builder.io, by the way, Nick, it's really cool. I should show it to you. You can use it in Gatsby or Next.js.
I think I made an account, and I don't know what happened from there. I make accounts for everything, so
Awesome.
definitely had interest, and I should definitely circle back with it.
Very cool. So I was hoping, I think there was a couple comments. Let's see. I don't know what this means. What does this mean? We're sponsored with StreamYard now. Yeah.
Well, we put a sponsored ad and we're on StreamYard, so I don't know if
Sorry, we're injecting those. That's a video.
yeah, that's just a video that we're injecting through StreamYard. But if anyone missed it earlier, we were talking about Nick went over how he originally had everything in Gatsby and was using Airtable and is transitioning everything over to this new site because they reached kind of a limitation of how they didn't have their users signing in and authenticating. And so now they realize that they need to have that database back in. And so he's migrating a little bit to a Gatsby site and then a Next.js site also for the app portion.
And some Amplify thrown in there too.
Yeah, and some AWS Amplify, just everything. I think maybe the mic got a little far away from you again, Nick.
Oh, well, we don't have a mic. We're just using the laptop mic.
Oh, I see. You're just far away from it.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Cool. So the other thing that I wanted to kind of break down, like we're talking a lot about kind of how to get a job, how to use like the tool and go look for it. What about like meetups or anything like that where there's coaching involved? Is that something you guys are thinking about?
Not right now. So this is what happens all the time on Twitter. People will reach out to me and say, hey, we're offering, it could be anything, like we're offering scholarships to a boot camp. We are offering mentorship. It could be anything. And I will promote that to the community. So it's like Black Tech Pipeline in partnership with what this person's organization is called and what they're offering. But us ourselves, we don't offer that yet.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, there's like a lot of, it's been interesting. Like Black Tech Pipeline kind of just started off pretty much as a job board and a recruitment service, and we're like seeing how things go where we are at the moment, and then like as things get better or worse, nothing bad has happened, but you know, we're just making adjustments and figuring out what would be next, right? So like this current phase is about having a real back end and a real experience for both candidates and employers. And then once that's in place, we're gonna kind of see where it goes from there, right? You know, maybe a year of just like seeing what that's like. And I think over time we'll be able to figure out like what's next, right?
Yeah, because Black Tech, I mean, first of all, I never thought I'd be running a company ever. Like, I didn't think Black Tech Pipeline would ever be a thing.
Sure.
It was an opportunity that fell into my lap because Black Tech Twitter came into existence. So, you know, the first thing that was obvious to me was like, oh, employers want to work with me to give job opportunities to the community. So I'm just going to do that. And that's what we're doing. And we might just stick to that, like, you know, come to us for jobs. And then we have other partnerships and platforms that offer tons of other things. We may just kind of like niche at like jobs and that's it. But we don't know yet.
Yeah.
Like, you know, we launched in 2020. So we'll see.
It's a great time to launch, like
Yeah.
right as everything just kind of went crazy and the world changed. So, I mean, growing communities is difficult. And I don't know if everyone realizes that too, that it changes over time, but you have to build up that community and learn from the mistakes and things that happen and figure it out as you go. So, I mean, I get that you're not doing mentoring yet, but like it's a possibility in the future because that might not be a goal right now. You're trying to focus on doing one thing right, and that's hard to do.
Right, exactly.
So I
I have a
appreciate
couple
that.
Q&As coming from Focus Otter here. So first one was to Nick about the Airtable piece.
Oh yeah, so Airtable would have been great if there was like so I mean man, I'm trying to go through all the issues I've been having. So like the first thing is if you sign up for the database, like you can't go and update your information directly. You have to like resubmit new data. So there's some people in there with multiple entries because that's like a huge issue, right? It would have been nice if Airtable. I tried building so many things on Airtable where it's like maybe I can do some kind of weird auth thing for Airtable, but it was just messy. Then there's just the idea that some employers wanted access to the database, and so then I tried figuring out how to make the personally identifiable information anonymous while those people are logged in. I don't know. I just kind of feel like, no disrespect to Airtable, I just felt like Airtable was this super thing that I could have done a lot of things. Like I was just making stuff up in my head, basically, about what Airtable could do. And so what they do really well is collect data. And that was what we needed at the time. And so just kind of coming across those restrictions. So we do want to, we've never done any ads, we've never done promotions or like anything like that. And so if we want to scale and expand and get more Black technologists on our database, doing that with Airtable, it just sounds like a nightmare.
That's something I had a question on, is how is it funded right now? Are the employers paying to post their jobs?
Yeah. There's the job board posting on the job board, and then there's the recruitment model where she gets a fee for the first year salary, like a typical recruiting agency, right? And so yeah, all those kinds of things made me look for a more thorough back-end solution. And so I figured I like Jamstack and I like cloud stuff, and I looked at AWS. I know a lot of people, Brittany in the Party Corgi Discord, there's lots of AWS people in there. And so I decided to reach for AWS, and Amplify has been great as far as getting me like up and running. I couldn't have imagined building as fast as I have with anything else.
Yeah, I'm part of the AWS Amplify community as well, and it's an incredible product with all the capabilities of Dynamo, and then being able to spin up all the Lambda side of things and the resolver.
I feel like I'm missing out. I've never touched it.
Oh man, like all of the issues that I've been having are mostly with just like forms and table stuff. Like as far as the back end just being complete, like you literally get a generated API and all the calls that you could ever ask for. Making APIs just comes strictly from a GraphQL schema.
Yep.
And that's
you can do REST or GraphQL. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Definitely check it out.
The reason I push everyone towards GraphQL side of it, which I'm forgetting the actual product right now, but thank you, AppSync. You can actually do real time off that too. So it's kind of cool. Like you have your normal kind of structured, well, it's not structured database. Don't get me wrong, it's still Dynamo in the back end, but you get the GraphQL niceness and then the real time as well. So we have a question for Paris from Focus Outer as well. Paris, can you give examples on how BTP, man, that's hard to say, BTP, has had to pivot over time based on how you've interacted with companies and the community?
Like we started, like before Black Tech Pipeline was a thing. I was working with companies. I was doing recruitment with companies through Twitter DMs because because of Black Tech Twitter, they were reaching out to me asking like, hey, can you recruit candidates from your community into our pipeline? And I said yes, and I did that for free for like 2 years almost.
Wow.
it wasn't, I didn't think about like charging or trying to make it a company. I was just like, oh, like I have an opportunity to like bring more people who look like me into the industry. Why not? And I was a software engineer full time at that point, and my goal was just to become like a really dope ass software engineer. That's what I was trying to grow into. And then the reason why Black Tech Pipeline came into the picture was because a lot of the candidates who I recruited into those companies, they came back to me privately, letting me know that they left. And so when I asked them why, it was like, you know, I'm not having a good experience. It was really obvious that I was just a diversity hire. There wasn't really opportunity there for me to grow or thrive. And you know, when I heard that, I felt horrible because I didn't vet any of these companies. I didn't ask them anything. They're just like, will you recruit? I'm like, yeah, why not? And so then I was like, okay, like if I'm going to do this, I have to do it right. And that's when I was like, all right, I'm going to launch Black Tech Pipeline. And so we also have this recruitment model where, you know, now anytime someone gets hired out of our recruitment model, our recruitment service, I stay on the job with them for 3 months virtually. So what that looks like is I do biweekly virtual check-ins with those hires just to ask how it's going. And, you know, I want to make sure they're having a good experience and being set up for success. And they'll give me really transparent feedback. And then I take that feedback and relay it to the employer. And then I work with the employer on improving their experience if it needs to be improved. And so it's like really being able to hold companies accountable and make sure that they're being actionable and not performative. And that model has worked really, really well. And that's something that we're going to continue with this new launch of the recruitment platform.
That's fantastic. Do you find that the diversity hire is common, or hopefully like we're getting past that? Like, what does that look like?
It's still really common. I think there are companies out there who are trying to like truly learn and change. But I still feel like we have a really long way to go.
Yeah. It's a super difficult like subject to talk about, obviously, but like it needs to be talked about, and it's hard to like get across the fact like a person's a person. Just deal with it. Like just judge them on their skills and like stop all this crazy hiring practices for just odd reasons. Like it's hard, but like
It's just
the other side of it though, it's like when you talk about the pipeline side of it, to get like people in and into that flow though, like there has to be some of that too, I would expect. So are you seeing like trends at times where people are pushing really hard to kind of get diversity in, or what does that kind of look like?
Pushing hard to get diversity in.
Like, do they set like a stupid quota or something like that, and they're like, oh, I need to hit my 10%.
Oh, every company has the quotas, literally all of them.
And then we also kind of related, we also noticed trends like businesses booming during Black History Month.
Right. That happens. It's like Black History Month or something really traumatic happens in the Black community, like with George Floyd, and
you see spikes. And so it feels weird, right? Because like, you know, George Floyd had to get murdered for this company to finally
realize.
Right. You know, so that feels really, it doesn't feel comfortable, but you know, it's like at least they're trying or doing something, you know.
Right. I mean, honestly, for me, I'm just like, okay, you want to hire, let's take advantage of this opportunity. But you know, you're also going to hear about yourself. That's why when you're working with Black Tech Pipeline, you know that you're working with me to get your feelings hurt. And as long as we all recognize that, then we can work together, because I need you to be receptive to my feedback. And it's not just like listening. It's like, what are you going to do about it? And I'm going to work with you on that to make sure it's actually getting done.
Yeah.
You definitely had to fire clients too.
Yeah. Or turn people away. I mean, I've had people get on calls with me, like companies asking me, they offered to pay me a lot more money if I wouldn't do my check-in model that I have for recruitment. And those are companies I had to turn away. But like, thank you. Now I wouldn't want to waste my time with you. You know,
you should add a page for like, don't work here.
Yeah. Like I can't.
That's so sad that the world just has to be that way. Like,
I
have no words.
No, I don't either. So elephant in the room or whatever you want to call it. I'm a white privileged male, middle-aged male. Like, how does someone like myself like help get people into the community and like, I don't know, like help you grow? What is that? Like, can I do more? What does that look like?
I think it's like paying attention to the community. So what are people asking? What sort of trends are you seeing? And when I say trends, I mean like questions or demands and things like that. And being like a co-conspirator or ally. I like saying co-conspirator. But like speaking up on issues. And a lot of people are afraid to speak up because it does mean that you may impact a relationship or like in a negative way, or you feel like you might lose an opportunity, right? But like, how good would you feel that you gained an opportunity or stayed in a friendship or any sort of relationship that actually like really harms someone just because of how they look?
Yeah, absolutely.
Those are things you want to think about. But definitely like pay attention to the community, because I don't speak for the entire community. I'm just one Black woman.
Yeah.
So like really like network and build those relationships there.
Cool.
makes
I have a perfect pick for this, I hope. Is
It-
there
it
anything
goes-
else like we're missing? Brittany, you have any more questions?
Yeah, it goes to like equal pay too. I mean, for women in general, like not getting paid their worth because they're a woman and so they get paid less in the industry. And do you have anything to speak on that? Does Black Tech Pipeline like work with women to get paid equally too?
For me, I'm just transparent about compensation. So I'm always asking like, what is the pay on this role? And a lot of companies will tell me like their budget, they're like, we definitely can't go past this. And I'm like, okay, but if someone's going for that role, I will, or whatever role, doesn't matter. I tell people always negotiate no matter what, because the worst they can say is no. They're not going to retract your job offer, just ask for more. Get what you deserve. And I don't know.
I always tell
Completely
people that
agree.
the company's going to fight for themselves. You have to fight for yourself.
Yes.
Like
that
really
video.
advocate for yourself, for sure.
Awesome. Any last thoughts on anything we're
Anything
missing?
we missed?
I feel like there's so much to unpack here, but I'm like running out of questions.
I don't know. I can't really. I feel like for the most part that gets everything. Again, I'm really excited to launch this recruitment platform, and see where things go and see how BTP grows and how the community grows and stuff like that. So I've been learning a lot. It's like just not even from just the technology perspective, but like just business and stuff. I've been learning a lot of business stuff just from sitting next to her during all her meetings and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So
That's incredible.
That's awesome. We'll have to have y'all back on in like 6 months and see how the relaunch went and how it's like making everything better. Hopefully your life easier, because I know the manual work that goes behind some of these things is a lot.
totally.
Oh, we got, yep.
Where do you see the future of BTP? Honestly, I would love to see Black Tech Pipeline get acquired. If not acquired, I may think about passing it on to someone else, and that would be like a really in-depth interview process, because I know someone who's extremely ethical and they can't be persuaded by anything. So because I like I said, Black Tech Pipeline was built because an opportunity fell into my lap. But I have a lot of other like goals and dreams that I want to pursue. And I might get to a point where I'm like, I don't know what else to do. And if I get to that point, maybe I'm not the right person to be running, but still being a part of Black Tech Pipeline. And that's just me being honest. So I am not sure yet. I love to see Black Tech Pipeline grow to its full potential, but I don't know what that's going to look like. And like I said, I may not be the one to do it. But we're here for the Black Tech community. You want to see it grow and thrive, and yeah.
Absolutely. Something just dawned on me. Like, Nick, do you ever think about like completely open sourcing so like people can PR like crazy into it?
Yeah, I think I left the last website private because, or the Gatsby site private, just because there's things in there that should just not be seen.
Sure.
But I do think about providing, like, making it open source to just allow people to, contribute if they wanted. It's something I think about. I'm not sure. I think for now, I just kind of want to get to this MVP.
Yeah.
I do plan on doing a complete like refactor of the entire thing. Like I want to convert it to like TypeScript and whatever. And I feel like that would be a cool thing to just leave public.
Yeah.
But I don't know yet. I still have to like, I'm still sitting on that. I think about that a lot.
I could definitely understand from like I call it GDPR, but the sensitivity of like all of the data and stuff like that. You wouldn't want any keys leaking out or that data to be leaked. So I understand that side of it for sure. If there's a cool way to like keep the separation from the data, that would be awesome.
Yeah. It's definitely mostly security issues that would prevent me from doing it.
Cool. Okay, now I think we've gone through all the questions. So thank you so much. We're going to pivot over to what we call Purrfect Picks. And it's just fun stuff that we like to check out or we've seen in the past week or so. And we're going to let Brittany go first. If Nick and Paris, I know you didn't have picks, but if you come up with any, just let us know.
Yeah, my first one, because it's International Women's Day, we launched the Women of Jamstack today. Salma had a Twitter space that she hosted, and I was on that. I was fortunate enough to be asked to join all these other amazing women. If you want to scroll down and show like the list of the amazing, amazing people that I got to join with, and we've got a few more on there now. Awesome. They've made some PR. So if you're a woman in the Jamstack, go and make a PR and put your name on the site.
It was a great discussion this morning, too. I loved it.
It was, and it's going to be recorded, so we will share that out. Hopefully, I'll remember to put that in the show notes.
I think I have a vote for Nick's pick, so we'll have to bring that up in a minute.
Oh, yeah, that is Nick's pick.
Wait, what?
We'll get to it. I'll bring it up.
Yeah. I almost knocked that over. My second pick is Quirtle. I don't know why I haven't picked it already because I've been playing it every day for like 2 months, and Wordle I've been playing every day for probably 4 months, and it is just, I don't know, it's something I sit down every morning when I have my coffee. My son and daughters love to play with me, so it's a really fun word game, and this one is a little harder than Wordle because you're doing 4 words at the same time.
Wow.
Nice.
I always start with either audio or a do. I try to get the vowels out of the way.
I can't tell you.
It's hard on that keyboard too.
Cool. I like this one. That seems more challenging to me.
It is more challenging. You get a few more extra guesses, but
cool. So I've recently become, I don't know why, but obsessed with SVG type stuff after like doing Jay's editing on that whole podcast or stream, whatever we're calling these days. So one cool tool is SVG OMG. I should have had one loaded up, but
I can't believe I had not heard of this before.
I've used this before, but it never used to work for me. Like it would always strip too much out. And I'm like, oh no, like that's not good. So basically like you can load it and it will reduce down like the SVG amount and things like that. So it's a cool little tool. SVG Playground, another amazing one. We were using something else when we were first converting all of our SVGs over to React, but
the SVG to JSX.
Yes, that's it. This one's pretty cool though. It has like the icon capability and memo to like wrap everything, and you can just drop it into your React project.
The build tool that we're using at work for our icons. So we run this on build to transform regular SVG files into JSX like React components.
Yeah, and I think we need to go back and like memoize all of our SVGs. I keep seeing that popping up, and I'm like, oh yeah. Like I keep thinking it's just static SVG.
Is that something that really needs to be done? Because I didn't do that, and maybe I need to go back and do it too.
So the only thing like React, like when it like starts doing its thing, and
yeah, it'll re-render all the so that will prevent the re-renders.
Yeah, that will kind of chill that out. So we probably needed to go back and do it with AJ and stuff. My last pick, and I hope this I hope you guys can like go to this and like be part of it somehow. But Refactor Tech, it's one of the, and I wore my shirt. I wore my Refactor.
I have to pick another one now that you're doing this.
I love this conference. Like it just opened my eyes up further, and the speakers were incredible. It's been a couple years since They've had it, I think, in person. So I'm trying to get there this year. I don't know how to make it happen. I might have to go on my own or with Coding Cat and pay the ticket. We'll see. But it's in Atlanta. It's a great venue. Very diverse speakers, which is the biggest part that I enjoyed.
So I just posted one in private chat. This is another conference that's coming up sooner than that one, also in Atlanta.
Yeah,
I know, and there's so many sick speakers. I am hopefully getting my company to pay for me to go to this, so I'm looking forward to meeting everyone. Go over to the speakers page. It's the first, yeah. And look at all these incredible people.
Yeah.
Wow. Nice.
I'm like following everybody there.
I know, right? There's Paris.
Yeah.
I bet you Natter's going to talk about Web3. I have
Yeah, I feel like there's going to be a lot of Web3 talks, which I'm really excited for.
Jason Linkstor is going to be.
If anyone has a contact to Ben, I've been trying to get him on the show for years. So talk to me.
Maybe I'll have to network while I'm there. I'm very excited about this one. So.
All right, so we did get a comment in from Jay, who's watching. Thanks for watching, Jay.
It's so true.
So this is apparently your picnic.
Oh, Eldon! Oh my God! I have already. I don't know when it launched, but I've already put in 90 hours.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
That's a lot.
I don't think your site's ever gonna get updated.
I'm doing. I'm doing this thing. It's like so mature. I've never done anything like this in my life. When I know I need to do something, I'm like timing myself, like in an hour of Elden Ring, then like an hour of coding, and like sleep is definitely taking a hit, Jay. Thank you for finding me.
Sleep's not important. Trust me. Oops. I clicked the wrong one. There it is.
It's amazing. I'm not gonna get started though on just talking about it. I won't stop. So
I don't know. There's some call outs here. Oof.
Those are rookie numbers. That's definitely gonna get game of the year this year though, no doubt.
Yeah,
That's
my
awesome.
husband's been playing Horizon. He's probably put that many hours into Horizon.
See, I had to choose between the two. And I waited. I love Horizon as well. I loved the first one, but I waited for Elden Ring. So
I want to play Horizon, but I don't do PlayStation. I'm glad Elden Ring's on Xbox. This is exactly where my head went. Pomodoro. So that's what you're doing.
Pomodoro timer.
You're doing like 20-minute chunks though, not hour chunks. Cool. All right, we're going down a deep dark path here. So
Yes.
thank you both so much. I can't wait to like talk to you again. Hopefully, 6 months here or whatever, and see the progress and like all the people that you've been able to see. If you ever want to get a group together just to chat about how like they went through the process, if they're willing to, let's do it. I'd love to.
Absolutely.
Yeah, sounds good.
Cool.
It was
Thanks,
so great to
Chris.
meet you.
Thank Nick.
Thank
See you
you.
later.
Talk to y'all soon.